Of heat. Authorities warn this could be a life-threatening heat wave more than half the country. It'll feel like 110 degrees in Philadelphia, 104 in Chicago, 106 degrees in New York City. And the concern about the power grid. Is New York at risk of another blackout? Ginger Zee is live tonight. The new video emerging tonight showing President Trump inside Mar-a-Lago in '92, partying with Jeffrey Epstein, appearing to weigh in on the women before them. What can be seen in the video? Breaking news late today involving actor Kevin Spacey, accused of that sex assault involving a young man. What the DA has just announced. In New York City late today, a life sentence for El Chapo. Where will he now go here in the U.S.? And El Chapo complaining what he said today in court. The 6-year-old girl killed on the golf course by a ball her father had just teed off, accidentally hitting her in the back of the neck. There is new reporting tonight on that Face app, that aging app going viral, and the new warning just in from the Democratic National Committee to campaigns not to use the app, and how the Russia-based company is responding tonight. Freed and now the conviction overturned after 23 years in prison. Convicted of murder, DNA setting him free, and what he said today before the cameras. And the frightening moment at the car wash when the driver pulls away and accidentally turns right into the river.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a very busy Wednesday night. Much of this country, at least 28 states, bracing for this dangerous heat. And tonight, as we come on the air, severe thunderstorm watches right here in the Northeast from D.C. up through Philly and New York. And look at the map tonight. More than 24 states under heat alerts straight through the weekend. The heat index there, it will feel like 110 in Philadelphia, 106 in New York City, 107 in Detroit. And here in New York, that concern after the blackout already in recent days. What happens with this kind of heat and the power grid? ABC's Alex Perez leads us off from Chicago tonight.
Tonight, from the East Coast to the plains, more than half the country in the midst of what forecasters are calling the most dangerous heat wave in years.
Oppressive humidity gripping the Delaware Valley today.
It is hot, hot, hot out there, and it is going to only get hotter.
In Richmond, Virginia, the heat turning deadly. Tuesday, a 10-month-old girl left in a hot car dying at the hospital. The heat index was 103. In 1995, a heat wave here in Chicago killed more than 700 people. Tonight, emergency rooms are on alert, bracing for an influx of heat-related emergencies.
So if someone comes in and we think that it's heat stroke, about 4 or 6 of us will actually put the individual into this ice bucket for about 10 to 15 minutes to get their body temperature down as fast as possible.
And in New York City, after that weekend blackout plunged a section of Manhattan into darkness, fears that triple-digit temperatures this weekend could bring more outages.
And we'll continually remind people to only use the energy they need.
David, here in Chicago, we're bracing for temperatures that will feel like 105 degrees the next few days. The emergency room doctor I talked to says even if you're staying hydrated, you can still be susceptible to heat stroke. He says the key is to get out of the heat and somewhere cool. David?
Alex Perez leading us off tonight. Great advice, Alex. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Zee tracking this all. And Ginger, you were telling us this will last for days.
Days, and cumulative heat is when it becomes dangerous, David. So New York City hasn't seen a 100-degree temperature since 2012. I really think we'll get close this weekend, if not get right to that century mark. But let's look at the map, because tonight we've got an imminent threat, and that's severe thunderstorms, damaging winds in excess of 70 miles per hour anywhere from Wilmington, Delaware, up through, say, Hartford, Connecticut, and even parts of the Cape. So see damaging winds and flash flooding, 1 to 2 inch per hour rainfall rates, not just for the Quad Cities, but here in the Northeast. Very heavy rains going into tonight. Let's focus on that heat. It really, the core of it tomorrow, St. Louis, Kansas City feeling like 108, but Saturday I think we could break records from Wilmington, Delaware up to Worcester, Massachusetts. David, the overnight temperatures aren't going to be relief either, staying in the 70s or 80s.
Ginger Zee with us as well tonight. Thank you, Ginger. In the meantime, to other news tonight, there were major developments late today involving actor Kevin Spacey and those accusations against him by a young man in Massachusetts. Today, what prosecutors revealed, and here's ABC's Lindsay Davis, who's been reporting on the case.
The decision late today by Massachusetts prosecutors to drop the sex crime charge against Kevin Spacey comes after a stunning moment in court last week.
All of those were deleted from the screenshots, or missing from the screenshots that you sent to Officer Kelly. Is that right?
Yes.
Spacey's accuser initially answering questions, then invoking his Fifth Amendment rights when asked about whether he knew it was illegal to delete text messages before turning evidence over to police in a criminal case. Spacey's lawyer immediately called for the case to be dismissed.
He's the sole witness that can establish the circumstances of his allegation on the night in question.
The accuser was 18 years old when he says the Oscar winner groped him at a piano bar in Nantucket in 2016. But the case unraveled after the young man's phone disappeared. His mother, a former Boston TV anchor, admits she deleted a few things before turning it over to police.
There were just a couple of things that concerned me.
2 weeks ago, the accuser dropped a civil case against the actor. As for Spacey, he has consistently denied all the allegations against him, David.
All right, Lindsay Davis, who's been covering this since the start. Lindsay, thank you. In other news, now to the video tonight that has emerged, raising new questions about President Trump's past relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. The video shows the two partying together at Mar-a-Lago in 1992. And here's ABC's Kira Phillips now.
The video shows them partying like pals. President Trump and Jeffrey Epstein at Mar-a-Lago in a room full of cheerleaders. The video shot by NBC in 1992, unearthed by them today. Trump seeming to point one woman out on the dance floor. The future president making Epstein double over with laughter. In a 2002 profile of the financier, Trump called Epstein a terrific guy, adding, "It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys his social life." 6 years later, dozens of women accused Epstein of sexually abusing them when they were teenagers. But a controversial plea deal landed him in county jail for just 13 months. Now he's back behind bars, facing federal sex trafficking charges. And the president is distancing himself.
I haven't spoken to him in probably 15 years or more. I wasn't a big fan of Jeffrey Epstein, that I can tell you.
Did you have any suspicions that he was molesting young women,
No, I had
underage
no
women?
idea. I had no idea. I haven't spoken to him in many, many years.
So let's get right to Kira Phillips live in Washington tonight. And Kira, any response from the president's team to the video today that's now emerged?
Well, David, we have inquired. However, no response from the White House tonight. But you can be sure that the president, as well as his aides, are aware of this video. David?
Kira, thank you. Now to the president and the firestorm over his tweets aimed at 4 Democratic congresswomen, telling them to go back to the countries they came from. Today, when asked about the uproar, the president said he's enjoying the fight. Terry Moran traveling with the president in Greenville, North Carolina tonight.
President Trump heading out for a campaign rally in North Carolina, confident that the racial firestorm he's sparked with his tweets is stoking his base.
I'm enjoying it because I have to get the word out to the American people.
It's now 3 days since Trump tweeted in the kind of brutally bigoted language no president has used for decades that 4 liberal Democratic congresswomen should go back to the countries they came from, even though 3 were born in the USA. His White House team defending him.
If the president was not telling these 4 congresswomen to return to their supposed countries of origin, to which countries was he referring?
What's your ethnicity?
Why is that relevant to this?
No, because I'm asking you a question. My ancestors are from Ireland and Italy.
My own ethnicity is not relevant to the question I'm asking.
No, it is, because you're asking about, he said originally.
The battle turned to the House floor.
Every single member of this institution, Democratic and Republican, should join us in condemning the president's racist tweets.
Every Democrat but just 4 Republicans voted to condemn the president's comments. Some of the president's Democratic rivals say all this furor is just what he wants.
This president purposely, I believe, distracts and attempts to distract by flame-throwing.
Today, Mary Bruce asked Speaker Pelosi about that.
Are you concerned that the president is goading you?
With all due respect, let's not waste our time on that. We're not having him set our agenda. We're setting our own agenda.
But on his way to tonight's rally, the president made his strategy crystal clear.
I do think I'm winning the political fight. I think I'm winning it by a lot. I think that they are not espousing the views of our country, the 4 congresswomen.
Trump 2020! Here in Greenville, among the throngs waiting for Trump, nearly everyone is backing his claim that it's not about race at all.
What do you think of Speaker Pelosi saying what he said was racist?
I don't believe he's a racist, period.
You don't?
I don't.
On what do you base that?
It has nothing to do with race. It has more to do with our own values and whether you want to be an American or not.
Terry Moran with us live tonight at a very noisy rally there in Greenville. And Terry, late today on the Hill, the other headline, the House blocking a move to impeach the president to begin proceedings over these tweets.
That's right, David. It was a very revealing vote. Speaker Pelosi leading 137 Democrats to vote against it, but 95 Democrats voted to impeach President Trump. That shows just how outraged the base is over something that wasn't going to happen and that the majority of the public supports. It's a divided party for sure. Meanwhile, the president is getting just what he wants out of this. David?
Terry Moran tonight. Terry, thank you. One more headline tonight involving the president. Federal prosecutors in New York today ending their investigation into the hush money payments to Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal. Both women claiming they were paid to stay silent about their affairs with the president more than a decade ago. He says the affairs never happened and no new charges are expected. We're also following images coming in from Puerto Rico at this hour. Thousands protesting outside the Capitol in San Juan, demanding that Governor Ricardo Rossello resign after 900 pages of chat messages were made public. They include sexist and homophobic comments made by the governor, some cabinet members, and top aides. The governor has apologized, but tonight he continues to refuse to step down. There is news tonight about convicted Mexican drug lord El Chapo. A federal judge right here in New York City today sentencing Joaquin Guzman to life in prison plus 30 years. One of the world's most notorious drug kingpins complaining in court today, accusing the U.S. of torturing him. Here's Gio Benitez.
Tonight, judgment for Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. These images, the last the world would see of the most wanted drug lord, captured, unaware that he had touched down in New York, seen peering out of that plane, learning at that moment he would face American justice.
The long road that led Chapo Guzman to the courthouse behind us today was paved with death, drugs, and destruction. But it ended today with justice.
Guzman today breaking his silence, telling the judge there was no justice here. You denied me a fair trial. And he complained that the lack of fresh air, clean water, and sunlight in jail was total torture. But the judge noting El Chapo's overwhelming evil, sentencing him to life plus 30 years. Guzman ordered to pay $12.6 billion in restitution. The man who ordered the torture and murder of his enemies, then blowing a kiss to his wife just before leaving the courtroom. As a crime boss, El Chapo was both ruthless and clever, smuggling drugs in jalapenos, fake bananas, even a submarine.
El Chapo was an innovative drug trafficker, the likes of which we haven't seen, and chances are we won't see again.
The mythic outlaw had escaped 2 Mexican prisons, seen here slipping into a tunnel beneath his prison cell, going through the floor of the shower. We saw that mile-long tunnel firsthand in Mexico, a muddy motorbike waiting for him.
This is the house where he just walked into and disappeared.
Mexican authorities finally storming El Chapo's hideout and capturing him.
Never again will Guzman pour poison over our borders, making billions, while innocent lives are lost to drug violence and drug addiction.
And Gio Benitez live outside of the Manhattan jail where El Chapo is still being held at this hour. And Gio, he'll soon head to a federal prison here in the U.S.?
That's right, David. He's likely headed toward the nation's most secure prison, the Supermax in Florence, Colorado. We're told he's going to be monitored there 24 hours a day. David.
Gio Benitez tonight. We can hear the choppers overhead there, Gio. Thank you. And we do mark a passing tonight, the death of former Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens. He served 35 years on the High Court from 1975 until 2010. Nominated by a Republican, he was a moderate justice, and he became the court's outspoken liberal voice over time. Chief Justice John Roberts saying he brought kindness, humility, and wisdom to the bench. President Trump tonight ordering flags lowered to half staff. Justice Stevens was 99. And tonight, the former prisoner behind bars for 23 years who had his conviction overturned today for a murder he did not commit. Christopher Tapp hugging family members in court right there in Idaho Falls. New DNA technology clearing him in a 1996 rape and murder. Tapp, now 43, served more than 2 decades behind bars, roughly half his life.
It's a new life, a new beginning, a new world for me. And I'm just going to enjoy it every day.
He said today he hopes no one forgets the victim, Angie Dodge. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Wednesday. The aging app going viral tonight. You've seen it. Several celebrities jumping in as well. But now security concerns and the DNC warning campaigns not to use the app. how the Russia-based company is responding tonight in a moment. Also, the family golf tragedy, a young